So most people will know you as Dr. Harry Tressler from Holby City, but what can you tell us about your latest project?
So I've just released a song called "To Where You Are." Um, that's in memory of my mum, who very sadly died of a sarcoma. So yeah, she became ill in 2023, and very sadly, after a fairly frustrating period of months where it took a long time to get to the bottom of what was wrong with her. Um, she finally had some surgery which was unsuccessful, and they weren't able to remove this sarcoma tumor, and died, um, which was a very difficult time. So I wanted to do something in memory of her and to try and raise awareness of this particular type of cancer. And Sarcoma UK was the charity that we collaborated with on this.
And for people who don't know, what is that type of cancer, if you don't mind talking about it?
So it's quite rare. It's very aggressive. Um, I think it forms in fatty tissue, and I think in bones as well. And it the tumors can grow very quickly and be very aggressive. Um, and it wasn't something we knew anything about. But yeah, obviously we learned quite a lot about it, once she was diagnosed. But yeah, I think one of the things about it is quite hard to figure out what's going on in the early stages. So even if someone has a tumor and they have blood tests, um, that won't necessarily pick it up. And that's what we found. And it was only when she had the CT scan that they found this very large tumor. And really, the main treatment is surgery, it's removal. And the guy, the surgeon we were dealing with, was very confident that he'd be able to do that. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And yeah, there was a sort of death sentence, really.
Oh, sorry for your loss. And so with the song, it must be very hard, obviously, putting it together, but at the same time, it's a lovely thing to be able to do for your mother, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite emotional. I sort of felt compelled to do it, really. I decided I wanted to do this song, went into the studio, did a few takes, and it just sort of came out of me. And then I was happy with it, and I thought, well, actually, we should do a video because actually that gives us an opportunity to show pictures and video of my mum. Then we had the idea of filming it in Hastings. I found this great local person called Scarlett Warwick, who's a really talented photographer and director, and she agreed to make this video for me. And it was taking in all of these very familiar landmarks that me and my family were, that mean so much to us, and also my mum. So, yeah, I was pleased with the way it turned out.
Yeah, and of course, you've been in the band Blake, who are a hugely successful classical band who have sold over 1 million albums globally. How did you first get involved with Blake?
So I had left drama school and I had trained to be an actor, and that was definitely what I was planning to do initially. And I had no intention of being a singer whatsoever. I'd kind of put that to bed after I left school. I thought, right, that's it, I'm done now. I'm not going to be a professional singer. And I think I thought, well, I don't want to be an opera singer and I don't want to sing in a choir. I've sort of done enough of that. So I couldn't really see a way that you could be a singer, um, with my kind of background, I guess. I had no idea that there was a possibility that there could be such a thing as a classical boy band. Um, and so, yeah, I left drama school. And about 6 months later, I realized how hard the acting world was. And I hadn't had any jobs and I had no money whatsoever. And I met this girl in a pub and we started chatting. And I said, "Oh, how was your week?" And she said, "Not so good. I'm going to lose my job." And I said, "Oh, right, that's terrible." She said, "Yeah, I've been doing this job where I've been trying to put a group together for Universal Record Company, and they just don't seem to like anyone I put in front of them. And they've told me that I've got one more week to find this group or I'm fired. She said, "You can't sing, can you?" And 2 weeks later, we signed a £1 million record deal. So yeah, it was unbelievable, and yeah, just incredibly lucky. Right place, right time. I happened to have the relevant kind of experience because I was a chorister when I was very young and had sung throughout school. So I suppose yeah, I ticked all the boxes for them, and it was too good an opportunity to turn down.
Definitely. And you was friends with William and Kate at St Andrews Uni, and your band Blake performed many times for the late Queen. What was that experience like?
Yeah, performing for the Queen was obviously a huge honour, fairly nerve wracking. I think it was the style of music that we were doing was particularly well suited to those kind of grand events. So we sang at Buckingham Palace and in the Royal Albert Hall, and yeah, always an honour and a privilege to sing in that kind of setting. And yeah, always yeah something I look back on with very fond memories.
Yeah, I bet. So, To Where You Are is the name of the single, and it was released on the 24th of March. Where can people download it and purchase it? All the usual platforms?
All the usual platforms. If you have problems finding it, just click the link in my bio in Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You'll find the link and you'll find all the places. There's also a Just Giving page there. So if anyone would like to donate even a tiny amount, even £1 or £2, that would be super helpful. And I know Sarcoma UK would really appreciate it. I don't think they get any funding at all. They're a very small charity and they're doing a great job. So yeah, if anyone would like to do that, I'd be very grateful, and I'm sure they would too.
And how long did it take you to put the song together? Was it fairly quick, or did it take quite a while?
Well, the thing is, with tracks that have orchestral uh, backing, yeah, I mean, I worked with a guy who had to create the orchestral track first of all. That was the first bit. There was quite a lot of back and forth with that because we wanted to get it right. We wanted to make it different from the original. We wanted it to be our own thing, and also the timing. There was a lot of timing changes in it that we had to sort of go back and forth on. And then once I had that, um, the vocals were done very quickly. Actually, the vocals were done very quickly. And again, there's always a bit of back and forth with edits on the vocals. Um, yeah, so it wasn't that involved. I think the video took a lot longer than the track, to be honest. The video is always a much more complicated process.
Yeah, I suppose because it has to go with the music, doesn't it? And yeah.
Yeah, you want to get it right, especially with something like this, which is obviously so meaningful and important. And it had photos of my mum and video, of which we didn't have much video at all. But yeah, so the video was very back and forth. And Scarlett's a bit of a perfectionist, and so am I. I'm probably a nightmare to work with. So yeah, but we got there in the end, and yeah, I sort of I knew she had this great creative vision, so I felt like I was in safe hands with her.
Nice. I'll be checking it out after the interview. It sounds great. And with your acting, I mean, what are some of your favorite roles that you've done so far?
The favorite role, my favorite role is probably the one I've just done, which hasn't come out yet. That was partly because it was in we filmed in Panama for a month, which is a mystery island film, and like a kind of murder mystery thing, and that'll be coming out in the next few months, I think. And that was great, lovely cast and crew. It was amazing filming in the tropics. We had this amazing kind of mansion that the Obamas had stayed in, and the character was fun. The character's quite larger than life, a bit of a English buffoon, and quite comedic. So that was quite fun. Um, and obviously, I think the job with Liz Hurley in the Royals was a good one because I got to spend 3 months with her. So that was yeah, that was another highlight.
Great. Well, it's been lovely to have you on the show, Jules.
Thank you, mate. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.